You know, this very well could have been the cycle that broke a lot of people, that made many lose conviction, that made many people call it quits. But I have to say, I'm impressed at how well a majority held up. Conviction in ADA and Cardano continues to remain high on this roller coaster that we've been on, and that's good. And the reason why is we're getting more and more embrace as time progresses. In fact, there was a big announcement by the U.S. Treasury Department and the IRS yesterday showing that we might be on the verge of a big sweeping wave of adoption. Could this actually be where Cardano and ADA take some major steps forward? And I'll talk about that in this video with you guys. So if you are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So I will say that this market cycle could have been a lot easier, especially if ADA had set a new all-time high. Understand that it's not the only asset that didn't set an all-time high. We've had some very exciting times. We've had some times where ADA shot out of a cannon and run, 200, 300%. It's excitement. It's euphoria, right? But for the most part, this market cycle has been kind of trash. It's been a lot of rotation of capital, been a lot of speculative players moving capital around the space. And that's, again, why, like I've talked about, we haven't really seen this major altcoin expansion yet. It's been just a lot of dilution in the market as people look for opportunity. And it's a big question of, obviously, when will this big wave of embrace kick off? And we've been on this sentiment roller coaster many times throughout this market cycle. And what I will say is that it seems like we're moving through this very quickly now. I feel like just a week or so ago, we were in this panic and capitulation and anger phase and then depression. And now it seems like in disbelief because we've got a little pump. Some people are saying this will fail like all the others. And that obviously we know leads us to some optimistic times, some belief times, some thrill times. And maybe this is just a shorter term pump that will go on where ADA does well and other assets do well, and maybe we fall back right into the same place. But what I will say is that the news continues to get louder and louder. The embrace continues to get larger and larger. We're obviously on the verge of some pretty big things in the crypto market. Some ETFs being launched, liquidity injections worldwide, rate cuts. These are all the things that can lead us towards some big booms in the market. But the embrace just gets louder and louder. For example, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, I never know if I'm saying his name right. Let me know if I'm right or not. He said today the U.S. Treasury and the IRS issued new guidance giving crypto exchange traded products a clear path to stake digital assets and share staking rewards with their retail investors. This move increases investor benefits, boosts innovation, and keeps America the global leader in digital asset and blockchain technology. So what we're seeing is a major overhaul when it comes to ETFs and ETPs. So if you guys remember, just a couple years ago, we had an anti-crypto army in the government. We had the SEC just suing everybody. If you guys even remember back in, what was it, 2023, ADA was even alleged to be an unregistered security. And now we've seen a complete 180. ADA has actually been mentioned in the Strategic Crypto Reserve, which obviously hasn't really come to fruition yet. It's been had major filings for ETF products. It's in multiple basket ETFs. And now we've actually just been cleared for crypto staking, which is now embraced by multiple different government entities. The Treasury, the IRS, and even the SEC is starting to approve crypto staking for many of these ETF products. And what it's doing is obviously expanding DeFi to some of these ETF providers, which, we're we're kind of watching the slow bleed in of adoption, maybe not from the group that we want, because obviously retail is, where we can see some exciting times. It's where ADA tends to perform its best. And we haven't really pushed into mass adoption yet. But what this is showing you is, again, we are in preparation of this. It is something that is coming, I think, a lot sooner than people realize. And this is, again, why I keep talking about us not having a traditional bear market or a bear market at all. Because we're starting to move from a market that was very much in its infancy to a mature market. And yes, we're obviously still dealing with manipulation. We're obviously still only at 6% of the world in adoption. So we're going to have these rip-roaring runs, especially on assets that have the current liquidity that they do. But that's something that will in fact change over time. Assets will become more stable. People will become less reactionary, and it'll be more about the tech that you have. And that's why I think it's so important what Cardano has in fact built from last market cycle to this market cycle. And that's something that I wish I had this pulled up. It's something that even the largest ETF providers in the world are realizing. If you guys remember, Grayscale put on that event just what, last week. I can't remember the excerpt they said. It was something like scalable, secure, and sound when it comes to Cardano. And I think that especially when it comes to this new up and coming sector, real world asset tokenization, I think a lot of these larger entities are starting to understand that. And we may have a big Cardano adoption that people weren't necessarily anticipating. This is just kind of a little thought I'm having here. And what I've always find kind of interesting is, I've always tried to be way ahead of the curve when it comes to a lot of this information, when it comes to the path, and that's led us very well so far. Whether that be, from prices earlier on this market cycle, prices late last year, when I talk about the path of adoption that we're going to be going on, when I talk about all this manipulation and that we're dealing with in the market with these large entities trying to get their stuff in place, it's all worked out. It's just been way down the road. And now we're finally starting to see that stuff get us to a point where, again, the doors will swing wide open for retail. And then we can start to see some of those big booms. So, and I kind of got a little off track on this video, but I just wanted to mention that. I think this is very interesting. I think obviously because the liquid staking that ADA provides, it's going to provide the fastest settlement for staking rewards out of all these different blockchains that have staking. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. I appreciate you as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below. Will this in fact make more institutional players interested in Cardano and ADA and the staking that you can do within the ecosystem? But have a great day. Show your love below. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.